Welcome to the family with
Tevin Pittman.
our special guest.
Giovan Jenkins.
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
Andy Barnard.
And Cassie Schrader.
And we'll be right back. We'll be talking about all kinds of stuff. Kostaki Economopoulos will join us for the last quarter hour, too.
God help
be
us
right
all.
back with Giovan right after this with the family. Tevin Pittman.
That's my intro.
That's
This is
your
my theme
intro
song.
music right there, baby.
I don't know who this is, but
Tevin
Motley
Pittman.
Crue.
Motley Crue. There we
Dr. Feelgood.
go. Okay,
Oh, you know Dr. Feelgood.
I do now.
He's sitting just to your right.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. Giovan Jenkins in studio, CBD in the NFL. Of course, we're talking about Nothing But Hemp. Just go to nothingbutHemp.net. As a matter of fact, the World Anti-Doping Agency and U.S. Anti-Doping Agency removed CBD from this list of prohibited substances. Why will the NFL not do that, Giovan?
I believe it's just the perception. I don't think they're at a point where they can just open it up right now until more studies come out.
Well,
Why?
can't they use stuff for masking agents and that kind of stuff too? I mean, if that's showing up in your whatever blood, did they do it by blood or urine or whatever sample? If you've got that in there, could that mask some other doping thing that they might do?
I would assume so, yes.
So that's probably why they have to figure all that stuff out.
Yeah, but I tell you, and I try to be honest as I possibly can with people, but I take THC and CBD to sleep. I have not slept. Well, here, talk amongst yourself. I'll get my sleep hours out for the last
You
week.
and those apps. I walked
an
45 billion steps yesterday. I slept 7 hours, 22 minutes.
You do sleep a lot better with CBD.
Oh, my
you
God.
do.
It's so much better. It's unbelievable.
It feels like a more restful sleep. Because, you have those nights where you wake up in the morning, you felt like you haven't even slept or your brain's been going all night. I just started my started back up on my CBD tincture that I use, and I'm starting to feel a lot better. So
That's how it should be.
Yeah, the thing about all the CBD stuff is, you see all this on the internet. You have no idea what's quality stuff, what to buy. These, somebody recommends this one, and it's only available from this one website. It's just kind of like, it's a little confusing.
Sure.
I have to say.
So here you go. So a week ago, I slept for 7 hours. Then the next night, 7 hours and 17 minutes. Then the night after that, I only slept for 5 hours and 20 minutes because there was a thunderstorm. And if there's a thunderstorm, I cannot sleep. I got no shot.
How is this telling you when you fell asleep? You just wake up and say, "I went to bed at this time." No, but I'm saying if you woke up because 15 minutes, that's pretty
The
specific.
little red lines,
Yeah.
that's when I'm
It
awake.
can tell.
How
It can tell by your heart rate.
Does it do it?
Like-
Oh,
Tells you by your heart rate.
Movement.
Yeah.
And it also puts in, there's a qualifier here when I have to put up with you on Monday. It's a nightmare. I got that
You
deal.
wake up Sunday night and then, it's just a cold sweat, like Tevin's coming in.
I'm so excited to see Tevin. I can't stand it. My black son. I didn't get my card. Oh, yes, I did get my card this year. Never mind. Yeah. He goes, yeah. I did from you and Molina. I get a Father's Day card from you and Molina. It's very nice of you. 7:56 the next night, 7:47, 7:20 last night.
I can't tell you how exciting this is to find out your sleep schedule.
Catherine,
I just want to point out to people, I never used to sleep more than about, 4.5 hours? That's about all I ever used to sleep. I got on THC and CBD. I sleep phenomenally well. I dream. It's not like you go to sleep and you don't dream, because that's not good for you.
So you're not passing out, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so you're not passing out.
Passing out is
exactly.
bad.
Yeah.
Passing out is not a good thing. But I point that out for a very specific reason, because I have proof that it works for me. And I just don't understand how they would think that CBD would affect any NFL player in a negative way. What's the problem here?
I think it's just because people say a cousin of marijuana, but it's not. It's a totally separate plant. Hemp is a totally separate plant. And I think just because the early war on drugs and things like that, we, as the U.S., I don't think the U.S. is ready. I think they are now, but I don't think sports in general is ready to just allow it in, because I think that says that, okay, everything can come in. But, golfers, tennis, they can use it currently.
Yep.
So they've decided that the pain management is, because pain is pain, whether it's football pain or pain from twisting your ankle on on a golf course from stepping in a hole or something. I mean, pain is pain. So
Yes.
if we're managing pain,
That's true.
I don't see the issues.
I can see it a little bit because I mean a golfer doesn't have to really be a big bulky guy doing steroids.
if a
most
golfer
likely.
twists his ankle and a football player
Yeah.
twists his ankle, it's still a twisted
Right.
ankle.
That's
Right.
true.
So the
Right.
pain, depending on the severity of the pain, it's going to take that pain. The right amount will take that pain from a 10 to a 7, from a 7 to a 3 or 4. There's nothing out there that's going to completely take it away. But if you're
Right.
talking about comfort, sleeping, things like that, anxiety, people with the social anxiety that go into public places, and then
I'm
those
just anxious all the goddamn time.
those are the people that come into our shop and they're like, well, yeah, I was able to go to the mall. I was able to do this, that, or the other. They're finding success with it immediately.
Nice.
The anxiety client, the person who's having trouble sleeping is also finding a lot of
But that
success.
is that THC, not
Well,
and
it's
CBD,
both.
or
It's both, but the
Oh.
full spectrum products are tending to work a lot better. That's what we're hearing from our clients. Full spectrum is that 0.3% THC, so it makes it that full synergistic blend of the whole CBD and all the other cannabinoids and everything else that come together in this synergistic phenomenon that we call CBD, and just the movement, I think.
Okay.
Well, an example of that too is I worked out like a madman 7 days in a row. So last night I had a little bit of a, not really pain, but a little bit of a tweak in my right hip, which was also weird because as I said to Catherine, I got a little bit of a tweak thing in my right hip. The guy on TV goes, yeah, I got a little pain in my right hip. What the hell?
Yeah, it was a football player.
It was a
right?
football player, yeah.
Yeah, who might not be able to play because of his twinge in his hip.
Twinge in his hip.
It's funny.
So I took a little bit of Advil, and it made it better, but it didn't take it away. But when I took the CBD, it went away. I'm telling you, it's great for that stuff.
Agreed.
I just don't. They need to back off with it. First of all, I don't care who you are in the NFL. 90% of your players are getting hired in a giraffe's ass when they're at home.
Yeah.
So what's the problem here?
And because they only test like in the off season, like that's the big thing. Like it's like if you make it through like preseason, off season, like during the season, they're not testing, so everybody just smokes.
Well,
in the
Really?
season.
Well, that's
Yeah.
probably
weird.
I'm sure it's all steroid based. That they're
I'm
worried,
sure it
'cause
is.
I'm, somebody in the off season is doing steroids.
Yeah, probably.
Is
Yeah.
gonna show up for the
Sure.
for when they get into the.
It is decriminalized in the NFL right now. I mean, it's the player association and things
Right,
like that.
right.
They are taking it and they're putting cannabis on a back shelf. The people that have a problem with it are the ones that will be put into the drug programs and the stuff like that the NFL has. But I think that it's fair to say that the NFL knows that their players, that the players are using for the pain management. They don't approve of it, things like that. But I don't think they're disciplining them as they once were. I do know a bunch of people that play in the NFL. I'm not going to obviously use names, but they do indulge, and they do it for the pain management.
Right,
They're not doing
right.
it to be like the rappers and all that, everything, and the social aspect of it, things like that. So
Don't you think that a guy like, Antoine, is it Antoine? Antonio Brown. It probably, CBD would have probably calmed him down enough to maybe deal with some of this stuff. I mean, it does help with anxiety like a madman. It does.
I would say when you find your amount, your dose, yes.
Yes. That's exactly
Everybody's
right.
different, but when people come into my shop, they say, "Will this work?" I said, "When you find your amount, yes, your correct dose." I can't tell somebody what their dose is.
No.
But obviously, if the person is a cannabis user of THC, then their endocannabinoid system's going to be already toxified, and they're going to have to probably double dose. So I let people know that as well. And if that's the case, we will sell you 2 bottles and give you a third one free, so you can double dose for 30 days.
Could part of the problem
bad
with
idea.
sports industry worrying about all this stuff is that they don't have good enough blood tests set up for this yet, where they know what it is exactly?
I don't think it's a blood test deal. I think it really comes down to just opening the floodgates and allowing
Just
these
something
guys
new.
to something new, something that was restricted for so long.
Okay.
That's what I hear from the guys that I talk to. At the same time, they are using CBD to manage their pain. It's just not accepted. But there are guys in the NFL currently that do use it.
And with the NFL too, it's like part of the collective bargaining agreement. So kind of think like the next time that's up and they renegotiate, it's probably something the players will bring to the table and work into.
It'll be a high
'Cause
priority.
I- make it where
I
they can do it,
heard
yeah.
that they just did or developed a breathalyzer test for just marijuana use, which is probably it's a good idea. I mean, you shouldn't be driving a car super high either,
No, true.
drunk
Yeah.
or high. You
True.
just shouldn't be driving a car.
True.
Especially in the states that have it legal as recreational.
yeah,
I mean, it's no
absolutely.
different than driving drunk, under the influence of alcohol. So yeah, I agree that there should be some type of testing because there's times I'm high from my vape that I use. And there's no way in heck I could drive. I would be,
Right.
so I always do it at night before I go to bed if I need the pain management. That way I don't have to take care of kids while I'm trying, if I'm high. Because sometimes I'll get a higher head
Oh,
high.
that's nice. Oh, somebody else take care of my kids when I'm high. That's nice,
I'm on the
Kathy.
clock, people. I'm gonna vape now.
Bedroom door shut.
Don't have a problem.
Kids are banging on the door like,
Mommy's-
Mom,
Mommy's high.
hungry.
So I'm high, leave
gone.
me alone.
At least it only lasts like an hour, but
Yeah, that's all right.
Unavailable for 1 hour.
but the
Face
CBD
down in the pool.
yeah.
No, but the CBD that I use helps the pain management also throughout the day,
Yeah,
so I
it
don't
does.
need to vape.
It does. Yep.
So I don't know. Yeah, you just like you said, you have to find your right dosage. You always start off small. 'Cause
Sure.
You never know how it's going to affect you. Because there's times some people could take like a 0.5 milliliter of CBD and they're like passed out. Not
Oh,
high.
you go to sleep.
But
Yeah.
it does make you super dry, like a more natural tired,
Right.
Yep,
which
it
I
does.
love. It doesn't feel drug induced like a NyQuil or any
You
of
are
that.
correct.
It's very natural feeling. So
One thing I should point out to people in states where it is legal, like Colorado, we were last year, Vegas a couple of years ago, when you buy legal recreational pot, you cannot put it in your car. You have to put it in the trunk. And people don't understand that. That you can't, it's just like, it's like anything else. You're not really supposed, you know that it's actually against the law to travel with a completely closed bottle of whiskey in your car. You have to put it in the trunk. You can't have it in your car.
I thought it was an open container
No,
law.
well, the open container, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
But you're not even supposed to transport even completely sealed
Except for
alcohol in
Florida,
your
where
car.
I'm pretty sure they encouraged me. to
Encourage you.
Not
You should
positive.
drink more when you drive.
I'm pretty sure it's okay.
help you get through traffic.
Little roadie on the way.
Right. When I lived in Louisiana, they
Sippy
had a margarita bar that had a drive-through window. And
Oh,
you would
no
always
way.
pull
Yeah.
out and get like these
Yeah.
large margarita slushies and
Down
like
south.
down the road you go.
That
You know what
vacation
a-
culture.
You know where that fish place is on Washington and Broadway? Mm-hmm. That used to be a liquor store called Jug Liquor. They
Yeah.
had a drive-through window when I was a kid.
North Dakota has them. When I got to junior college, I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
This is like heaven.
You drive through liquor stores.
Well, there's not a lot to hit there.
Well,
Yeah, that
true,
is true.
but
Occasional
That's
bison.
true.
they knew we were freshmen. They were still letting us buy drive through.
Yeah, it's a. Hopefully, this will. Do you think, Giovan? Do you think that there's a possibility that the alcohol industry is still all over them in the NFL because they are big sponsors of the
Oh,
NFL?
that's true. Beer.
Beer. Yep.
So I know because our business just moved out to Las Vegas. We just opened a shop in Las Vegas, and I know that the alcohol industry they do have their hand in the cannabis industry because
yeah.
they are upset how fast it has grown because it has grown faster than anything. Now CBD is growing faster than recreational marijuana, which people don't know, but the trajectory of the growth of CBD is faster than almost everything out there. It might be somewhere like compared to like cell phones, I think I heard once, or maybe even a steeper climb than cell phones.
So instead of bucking it, why don't they invest?
Well, okay,
Pass
so
blue ribbon
that's where I'm going
dope,
with it.
or
They-
whatever.
They're controlling the movement of the
liquor
recreational
Really?
marijuana out west, and I know in Vegas they have their hand in some of that. So if you can control the movement of it,
Oh,
your
yeah.
hand is in it.
Well, one
you know.
thing I saw, a friend posted, they have now bottled CBD water.
You do?
Oh yeah, I
They do.
saw that someplace.
Terrell
It's like
Davis
it
has
tastes
a brand.
great.
Terrell Davis
you
just
do?
came out with a
Okay.
sports drink that's CBD with about 10 milligrams per bottle and things like that. The FDA is going to really come down on the food industry and things like that,
Yeah.
just because you're people consuming it faster and things like that. I think people can get to it easier if it's in food and
Yeah,
drinks.
because then it's just a supplement.
It's a supplement. So I think if you keep it in dispensaries and stores like ours, that it's 18 plus in Minnesota, but we definitely do. We card people and we want them to be 21 plus. I just came out of education, 18 years as an educator, as an administrator or as a dean of students, and I was catching kids, vaping and things. We are not proponents of selling vapes to kids.
No.
I do not want to sell hemp flower to kids so kids can think it's marijuana. So we're really, really strict about the way we're going to do it in our company and nothing but hemp. But at the same time, if there is somebody that comes in with a parent, and I know I have an 18-year-old daughter, and that young person needs CBD, I let my daughter take CBD. I let her take it as a tincture. She didn't like it, so then I let her vape it.
Yep.
I will consult with a parent who allows their kid to do it. There's no way I would sell it to a kid.
And mine's all
Good for you.
capsuled, by the way. Everything I do, CBD and the THC
yeah, you don't
is
like
all
vaping
capsuled.
or tincture.
Yeah.
I can't vape. I will choke to death if I try to inhale anything. I can't do it. I cannot.
Except
we
for
gotta take a break
cigar
here.
smoke. What?
I don't inhale cigar
Don't
smoke.
inhale that. That's for the...
I don't inhale cigar
You
smoke.
don't?
No.
God, no.
Oh.
I choke
What's
on
the point then?
camaraderie.
We'll be back right after this with the family.
Amateur.
Yeah.
Should hook me up so I can send Betty some.
I was going to say, once you settle down there, Superfly. That's all. She's a drug dealer down there. Unbelievable. I didn't see the new Superfly. Did anybody see that? Was it
No,
any
I
good?
didn't.
That's it.
The old one was the best. It was the
I
best.
didn't see any reason to remake that thing.
Come
It
on.
wasn't good in the first place. Sorry.
Hey, when he got out of that, when he put his foot out of that Cadillac, and his heel was like a
Platform shoes.
He had those platforms on like there's no tomorrow. Remember my brother Tony?
Yeah.
Red,
You gotta
white,
remember your
red,
brother
white,
Tony.
and blue. I'm talking about his shoes.
Family reunion 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's right. Honest to God, he had red, white, and blue platform shoes.
That's awesome.
Well, you had an ostrich feather, what, boa? Or was it
No.
a cape?
Is there a picture
what
of
did
this?
You have?
Why did you talk like that in front of Tevin? Now he's going to be all over me for the rest
Feather
of the
boa.
time.
Oh, he thought he was
to
Jimi
see this.
Hendrix.
Oh, I have to
He
see
wanted
this.
to be Jimi
Give
Hendrix
me
so
with my
bad.
hero. It's true.
Text me that
I can't
picture.
even deny it. You got to see that picture.
I have
Yeah.
not seen that picture. I don't
Actually,
think it exists.
Full disclosure, it was a coat that had a feather boa collar
Oh, that's
and
nice.
eyes for buttons. What do you think of that? Ah?
Talk about Superfly.
Talk about super.
I want to see that one too.
Yeah, you want to see it
They
now?
still have the jacket.
It's got to be around here somewhere. That picture's got to be around somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, and I forgot the Fu Manchu that I had too. The Fu Manchu.
You were one sexy beast.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's any doubt
The fact that
about
you're
it.
currently married right now says a lot about your personality. That sounds like a terrible look.
You think?
What do you mean?
You
That's the
think?
Fu Manchu mustache with this feather boa jacket. Catherine,
I didn't see it.
Very
I didn't see
forgiving.
it.
She's very
overlooking
I was
forgiving.
after that.
red
I
flag.
was after
She only
that.
heard about it.
Too many red
Yeah.
flags, honey.
Yeah.
Steven's calling red
You think he was
flags. on
telling me
that
all
one.
this stuff before we got married?
Oh,
no,
no, you
no.
keep that
he
jacket in the
saved
closet.
It.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
second date
saved
that
all
comes
his
up. Yeah.
information for after.
I don't understand why anyone would have a problem with my coiffure. Oh, wait a minute, that's a hairstyle. What am I talking about?
Your
The,
look.
the mustache.
The perm came later. Your
That
perm.
was her fault.
You got a perm too?
I had a perm.
She made me
I'll
get a
admit
perm
it.
for our
Everybody
wedding
had
photo.
a perm. Everybody
Yes.
had a perm. The world was permed.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
apparently I was all of a
My
sudden
mom had a
perm too.
We were
And I
perm.
look at my wedding picture to this day, and I still see the guy who owns like secondhand equipment or whatever. Like, honest
Oh,
to
yeah.
God, Dick Enrico. I look
Yep.
like Dick Enrico in that picture.
That's such an unfortunate
I mean, nothing,
name.
nothing against Dick
too.
Enrico. Don't get me wrong, but
Stop saying that. It doesn't sound right.
what?
Dick Enrico.
I'm not Dick Enrico. I said Dick
I know I
Enrico.
said it's just an unfortunate.
I'm Dick Enrico. I don't know if
Did
you
you
know.
guys vape when you went out in the
Oh my
hallway? Is that what you were doing? They vape, went out. There's a little vape
See,
pen.
if the whole
Boyfriend
world was on
named Rico.
CBD,
What's
this
Rico's
is what
last
we would
name?
experience.
Yes.
The UN, we need to get CBD in the UN. That's what we need.
Yes, we do.
Everyone needs
man.
to chill.
We need to get it covered.
On my face.
Giovan Jenkins in studio, nothingbuthemp.net, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he's got 2
We're
phones too. Look at this.
Oh my God,
Go
look
over
at
both
you guys.
sides, too.
Everybody has 2 phones. I got one's enough. Believe me, if anybody can get a hold of me from the radio station, I'm going to throw it away. Oh, God, you know what? Maybe we should get a bunch of hemp for the people on the show, calm them down in the morning. I don't know. I just
they'd be
think
calm at 6 a.m., right?
I would be.
Yeah.
no.
Generally, people don't get
It's
whipped up till
Sansevere,
10.
honey. Sansevere is whipped up the minute he
Well,
wakes up in the morning.
there's nothing you
Man.
can do about him.
Hey, Tom, let me ask you a question, Tom. It's like, you don't have to yell at me, Bob. You got a microphone. Everything's good.
Just throw cheese curds at them.
I should have just throw cheese at him. Honest to God. You ever been around Sansevere eating
Yeah.
pizza?
Oh, no,
Eating
not
pizza?
eating pizza, no.
He gets a pizza. It's a full, large pizza. Mm-hmm. And
Cheese
then he
only.
eats it. And then you go over, and the crust is all stacked up in a tower. Because he doesn't eat the crust.
Like,
You
Just
the whole
pulls the
Like-
pizza.
crust
Yeah,
or, like,
pulls-
just the
all of it.
end of
pulls
it?
the
No,
cheese
the whole thing.
off and eats the cheese.
cheese and
Pulls
the
the cheese
toppings.
and the toppings
Sansevere,
off.
we need to have a discussion.
You-
What? Why?
It's like,
Why
why
don't you just
bother
get
with the
cheese
pizza? Just
with
have
pepperoni?
fondue.
Yeah.
Just make fondue.
Yeah.
Just
I know.
melt the cheese and eat the cheese.
The honest guy's got like it stacked this high in pizza crust.
You gonna feed the squirrels or something?
What are you doing?
He's just a unique human.
Unique. That's the word I was
He's a
thinking of. Yes.
unicorn. He's a
You
pizza
know,
unicorn.
He's a unique guy. That's Sandy. Unbelievable. You know one thing about having Sandy on the air that is hilarious? I got to talk to him one of these days about it too.
Does he eat it, like, with a fork?
Not letting it go.
Or does he,
He's
like,
not letting it
just,
go.
like, put it the whole thing in his mouth and, like, scrape it with his teeth?
I think
like,
he
or
does
use his
scrape it
hands?
off with a fork, doesn't
Okay.
he?
I don't
think.
know. I've never witnessed it.
I have to
I've only-
watch
it's
this. I'm
It's
very
legendary,
curious.
though. I do know
It is
that.
legendary because the sauce is all gone. The cheese is all gone.
Oh, he eats the sauce.
He eats the sauce.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He scrapes the sauce, so he must have a spoon
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. That's good. I'm surrounded by these people, Joanne. I mean, honest to God, this is who I'm surrounded with right here. Radio people. And then one thing about, okay, now ask me a question and I'll be Sansevere. No, I'm going to ask you a question and I'll be Sansevere, okay?
So I'm going to do nothing.
No, you're going to talk.
Okay.
When I ask you a question, you'll be talking.
Okay.
So, did you watch that Viking game yesterday?
Yeah, I caught a couple minutes of it, and we just. And it was,
He does that the whole time you're talking. It's like, would you stop doing squirrel noises?
He's probably trying to tell you
Interject.
something, yeah. But he's trying to be patient too.
But don't ask me a question and then shut up.
It's like
so
when
I
you're in
can answer
elementary
you.
school and you knew the answer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's exactly how Why'd you ask me? So did you watch the Viking game yesterday?
yeah, I watched it while I was at work.
Are you, what work?
You know, he's got to pay the bills somehow.
Where?
Union. You know this.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You know this. You know this. So you watched it at work a little bit?
Yeah, I watched like the first half at home and it looked good. I mean, it was the Raiders, so I don't know how much we can tell from
My
beating
God,
them, but
that team is terrible.
yeah.
Javon, you're coaching still and everything, aren't you?
I took a year off, but I did go back to the 10-year-old boys down at Phelps
Did you
Park.
really?
I needed to do something.
Which park?
Phelps Park down in
yeah,
South Minneapolis.
yeah,
It's where Tyler
totally.
Johnson came out of,
Yep.
and a bunch of good Minneapolis kids.
And you played.
I did play. Played at Minneapolis Washburn, and then played at. I went to junior college in North Dakota at Wahpeton,
Wahpeton,
and then
North
finished
Dakota.
down in Mankato.
Oh, University of Minnesota, Mankato?
It was Mankato State when
Mankato
I was there.
State
But yeah,
there,
yeah,
that's
it was.
When are they going to change it to the Screaming Eagles like it was
Like
on
it was on a
television?
TV show.
That's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
everybody asks me that. I'm like,
love
man, hey.
that. I tell you, not too bad though with you got Adam Thielen coming out of there. That's not bad.
Yeah, we weren't that good when we were there. We were always the
Well,
bottom
he-
of the NCC, but he definitely did put them on the map, and they've been good for the last. I think they've been preseason ranked in the top 5, maybe the last 5 years now, 6 years for sure. So they have a really strong program now.
That's wonderful.
It is. It's good.
See, that kind of stuff, I love to see that. Guys who maybe never got the big college break, never got the free ride.
Yeah.
Which he didn't. He didn't get any scholarship even in Mankato. Did
No,
he?
he went the hard way. He walked on,
That's
proved
what I thought.
himself, and
Yeah.
I think was undrafted. Somebody can correct me with
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
And then,
undrafted.
Yeah.
Made it like out of tryout and then.
yeah, just work, man. Just a worker, man. But that's good.
Yep.
It just shows you that The person who is not the most talented can outwork the most talented if the most talented doesn't want to work.
Yeah, you're 100%. See, now, could you say that again for all the youth of America? Because that's great advice.
Definitely. The person who is the most talented, the
What
person.
did I say?
Yeah, no, I got it.
No, he changed the story on it.
Yeah. So the person who is not the most talented can outwork the person who is the most talented.
No doubt.
If the
doesn't
person
wanna
who
work.
is the most talented doesn't want to work
Right.
hard. I mean, I've coached for 18 years. I've coached kids that have made it to the NFL, and I've coached kids that should be in the NFL. And the difference is the ones who wanted it worked the hard to get it. But there are some that weren't even on the radar that made it. So that's the kid who proved everybody wrong or right, whoever was in his corner or not.
You know that I love that you brought that up because I talked to Aaron Benner. I don't know if you guys know who Aaron is. Aaron was that teacher over in St. Paul that they tried to force out. He's a black man in America today, and they tried to force him out because he went to the school board and said, "You need to hold black students responsible for their bad
Accountable.
behavior, accountable for their bad behavior," and they tried to fire him for that. Now,
Yeah,
he's
so
black,
he's suing the school board,
and
actually.
he won. He already won.
Yeah, I hope he won.
He
yeah,
won.
Yeah, I hope so.
But see, that's the kind of thing. And so I talked to him. Actually, 2 years ago when it happened, he went into a closet at school and called me on the air and said, "Tom, this is going on." So he's in a closet, right? But Aaron's been on TV every day now, and he's just talking about exactly what you say. If you work, you will succeed.
Definitely.
See, I love that. I love that a lot.
I saw
Giovan.
him on the news, and I was really impressed with his
Aaron?
message. He's like,
Really
if,
good
if you
guy.
don't hold people accountable, whether they're black or white, they're not going to be employed,
Yes,
right?
right.
They're not going to get
Exactly what
jobs.
he's
They're
talking
always going to
about.
be a problem in their lives because they're not held accountable.
And I have a treat for you, Tom. I got in contact with Aaron. We will have him in studio.
He's coming in
Hey.
studio?
Yeah, we
Oh,
just got to
Aaron.
find a day.
I love Aaron.
But
He should
messaged-
run for mayor.
Yes.
Governor. I want him to run for
Governor.
Ooh.
What is his name?
Aaron Benner, Benner. He was a teacher in St. Paul school system, and I don't even think he's a counselor or something.
I mean, everybody's been seeing all this stuff that's going on
yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, absolutely.
Teachers getting the crap beat out of them, kicked in the head.
Oh,
It's
man.
unbelievable. And the kids, nothing happens to them.
No, I'd
they
be
get
fired.
counseling.
Yeah, I know.
The first day I'd be fired for messing up one of these little kids.
Yeah, exactly.
You said,
You know, he's
what?
beating up little
No.
kids.
And there was one,
really
I think
nice, Devin.
it was in
Really
New York
nice.
somewhere. These 3 girls were just beating their female teacher, just beating on her. And if she touches them, she gets
Yep.
fired instantly, so
Yeah.
she has to take it.
Yeah.
Beating.
I'm like, no, there's no job
And I
worth
feel like-
this.
Yeah,
no.
fortunately, I've never had a student that has attacked me physically. I've obviously witnessed students attack other people, staff, and because I've worked in special ed and things like that. They do get dealt with, but the issue is the staff member who is afraid to lose their job
Yep.
by defending themselves or breaking up a fight or keeping the area secure. That's the issue. Everybody's so hyper vigilant about the lawsuit or what's going to happen.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes you just have to make the area safe, and that's when you jump in. But sometimes you kind of let things play out too, because if it's 2 kids, usually kids aren't going to fight that long, because
Right.
kids
No, it's
they do
true.
it because they're at school and that's where they chose to fight
And it
because they
hurts.
want it to get broken up.
So here's the deal. 2 things. Here's something you have in common with Aaron. Both of you, before you talked about anything, about if you work hard, you'll succeed. Aaron, in his case, you need to be accountable for your bad behavior. You both mentioned your grandparents.
Oh,
It's a huge thing, and I wish people would pay attention to that. As soon as you mentioned your grandmother, I went, "This guy had good parents, good grandparents," and I really wish we as a society in America would pay a lot more attention to that, because good parenting is everything.
Well, absolutely. You think those gangs of kids that were beating the crap out of that guy downtown Minneapolis, 14, 15, 16, have good
Yeah.
parents?
No.
Parents
No.
don't care what they're doing.
No, it's true.
they're
But that's-
products of their environment, and it
Yeah,
takes
it's sad.
educators like us, people that are in schools, to, with the 8 hours we have them, try to give them another way to do
Yeah.
life. And we understand the trauma and everything. We know they go back into that environment. And what we do as educators is we try to every day be so consistent that they hear the message that they need to hear. So when they're 25, that light bulb, that light switch will turn on, and they say, "Oh, that's what Mr. Jenkins or Mr. such and such, whoever was trying to get across to me." And a lot of it is just trying to get them to understand how to calm their bodies down so they can make rational decisions.
I like it a lot.
You know,
I just love the fact that
CBD
you
in the
told-
water.
Yes.
for everybody, for the kids,
Out here crushing up CBD
lunch,
pills.
for lunch, yeah, for lunch.
Put it in the lunch.
Chill out, man.
I like that a lot. That's a good decision made right there. But that makes me very, very happy to be on the morning show and be on this show and hear people talking like that, because you just don't hear about good parenting anymore. And I don't know why. Why is that?
I think a lot of it has to do with the schools, that the parents just rely too much on the schools to raise their kids.
Probably true. Raise my kids for
Well,
me.
and also,
Feed 'em.
but when the school complains to the parents about the kid, it's like, not my little sweetheart.
Yeah.
They're wonderful. That happens
I remember
too.
you did that with Andy. It was
I
not
was
my
like-
little
All the
sweetheart.
time.
It's like, that's all he did?
He's usually a lot worse than that at home.
Oh, just smacking around.
Poor Andy taking a hit for the team over there.
I acknowledge it.
I acknowledge it. Oh, God.
It's funny.
Well,
It
half
is
the
a-
time the crap that they'd call me about. I told Andy not to touch the wall, and he touched the wall. And I'm like, and you're calling me about this?
Yeah, they
really?
did get a little like I was not an obedient child, but
No.
eventually they started like looking for reasons to get me out of class.
Yeah, as the dean of students, I have to make sure that I'm going to call this parent with something that is relevant because when I really need this parent,
Yeah.
I need to be able to call. So I just take a lot of, I call it wins and losses. I take them
Yeah.
like all
Yep.
day long, and I'm okay if I go home with more losses as long as I win the big battles, like the respect, the not cussing out staff members, being respectful, eye contact when you're talking to staff members, not walking away from staff members. I'll fight that battle. But if a kid like says something in my room, it's kind of a free, when I was at Washburn, a swear word, that's fine. I'm not going to call your mom because you were upset and you swore. You're a high school kid and things like that. But consistency wins out with parenting. I got an 18-year-old daughter. She knew what to do, what not to do, because she heard me coaching, and she's known kids that have gone to jail, that have been killed. I mean, we've had, in 18 years in the inner city, I've dealt with everything, and my daughter has been my assistant coach for 18 years. So she knows that what to do, what not to do. She's still a risk taker because she's a teenage girl, but she knew where to go, how far to go across the line.
Yeah.
Now she's at Missouri. I just came back last
She's
night.
at Missouri.
Drove down there. No issues except for the, a being away from home type deal.
Yeah.
Lonely, but other than
She's
that.
a Tiger now.
Yeah, she's a Tiger. She got a
She's a
good
Tiger.
quarterback down there to follow around too.
Yeah, but Tim Laudner went there, so it's not that big a deal.
Well, I just like to, I can jump on because it's not the Big Ten, it's not the
Right.
Big 12. I can,
My
it's
favorite
easy.
story. We got to take a break, but my favorite Tim Laudner story. So he goes down to the University of Missouri. And he's going to play tight end for the Missouri Tigers football team. And he gets there, and they said, "Yeah, there are two of you trying out for that starting position at tight end." It was Tim Laudner and Kellen Winslow. How'd that go, Timmy? Well, you went into baseball, so let me
Yeah, he
guess
did
how
very
that
well
went.
in baseball, so it worked out for him.
We'll be right back and be joined by Kostaki Economopoulos.
Yes.
We got Giovan Jenkins and Kostaki talking a little football right after this, the family. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. We're back. A great conversation to lead into Kostaki Economopoulos, Catherine Brandt, and Giovan Jenkins talking about pooping because you drink a cleanse every day.
No, that's not what we were talking
I
about.
thought it was. I
Kinda
thought he was
sounded
talking
like
about
it.
dropping
No.
a deuce down there.
But you are really a 3-year-old at heart.
It's cleanse day from my isogenics meal prep, so
Oh, it is.
we're speaking the same
talking.
language.
Oh, I see. Okay. Kostaki, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
How's that team of yours?
God.
You sound like you're having fun there. I'll see if I can put an end to that.
See if I can crush your spirit, if at all possible. Giovan Jenkins is with us. Tevin Pittman's with us. A couple of football players, as a matter of fact. Tevin, what
Big
position
fan.
Is that
do
true?
you
You went up against Kellen Winslow in high school?
play? No, Tim Laudner did in college. Timmy Laudner, the catcher for the 1987 World Series winning Twins, went to Missouri to play tight end. The other guy trying out was Kellen Winslow.
Oh my goodness!
How'd that
gracious.
work out? And that was senior we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
he was pretty good.
Yeah. Hall of
He
Fame.
was pretty good.
Best tight end to do it.
Poor Timmy
Top-
Laudner.
Top 3 tight ends of all time, right?
Yes, sir. as good as it gets.
Yeah, he's a good one.
There was Kellen Winslow, Tevin Pittman.
No, not me. I was wide receiver.
You were a wideout?
Yeah.
Man, you were a big wideout.
Yeah, well, I mean, college I was a little bit smaller. They're going to try and move me to tight end, so I put on like 30 pounds my freshman year. But yeah, I played wide receiver. So
Man, were you fast?
I was decently fast, like 4'5", 4'6" guy.
You're pretty big, though, from that. Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Who was that we ran into the other day? He was like 7 feet tall, and I said, God, he played college football.
We just ran into him.
No, we were looking at that house. What's his name, Andre?
Oh, AJ.
AJ, there you go.
AJ.
This
He's
guy
a
played-
big guy.
He had to be close to 7 feet tall.
Absolutely.
And I said, please tell me you weren't a wide receiver. Who's going to stop the guy?
Right.
You know, plus he's got his arm reach is about 12 feet.
Not too many people are. I'm like, hello.
Honest to God, but he was a defensive end.
Yeah.
But he was
He's tall.
tall and lean, though. He wasn't,
He was a good
broad.
sized guy.
He's a good sized guy, but he wasn't like, big and bulky. He was just big.
He wasn't Kostaki.
No, he wasn't a handsome devil like Kostaki Economopoulos, That's a whole different deal. So what's happening, man?
Hey, I'm watching the news, trying to write jokes about the things that happened on Sunday, but none of them hold a candle to the Antonio Brown jokes that I wrote before Sunday.
Yeah, how's he doing, man?
Oh my goodness, what a disaster! I guess I should do all the jokes in case he goes away forever and we never get to talk about him again. It is possible.
Use up your inventory.
What do Antonio Brown and Benedict Arnold have in common? Not Patriots. Ha
Oh, they're not Patriot. That's good. Very good.
Antonio says he's not playing in the NFL anymore. Yeah, that's breaking up with your girlfriend after she dumps you, dude. We know this.
I like
The
it.
bald guy shaving his head is what that is. I got a count running. 2019 high-profile releases. Robert Kraft 1, Antonio Brown 2. That's where we are.
Ish. I don't want to hear about Robert Kraft's releases.
High-profile releases. Now Antonio can celebrate breast cancer awareness with his pink slip. So that's nice. It's right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
There's no I in team, but there is an I in fired. So that's good. He was there 11 days. That's the shortest thing in Foxborough since Doug Flutie.
Ooh. Hey, how's he doing?
Alternate punchline, Danny Amendola, Julian Edelman, Danny Woodhead, Wes Welker. There's a lot of these guys.
Keep going, baby.
Yeah.
Amendola.
Antonio Brown did not spend long in England. The British stayed in New England longer. The Harlem Globetrotters spent more time on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, I love that episode. The Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island was phenomenal.
I already feel bad for the defensive backs that Antonio Brown's going to torch in the XFL. That's definitely
Is he
where
really
he's going,
go,
right?
Do you think he'll go to the XFL?
Of course.
Oh,
well,
my
what
God.
else is he
Still in
going to do?
XFL?
No, they're starting it again.
Okay.
He, you cannot take away from the fact he was a supreme player. I mean, he was phenomenal,
Well,
but he just couldn't be happy.
Arguably the best. Certainly
Yeah.
one of the best. He's amazing. So fun to watch. But there's some buzz that the XFL won't take him. When Vince McMahon thinks you have character issues,
That's a good point.
you should take a long, hard look in the Instagram mirror filter.
You really should. You really should, yeah.
Take inventory.
Oh,
They say several teams are showing an interest in Antonio Brown. You know, the St. Louis Battlehawks and the Seattle Dragons and the Houston Roughnecks. These are the new XFL teams. We'll see. Brown's a proven team builder. You got to give him that. Just ask his legal and PR teams. There's a lot of teams around this guy.
more people every day, baby.
Yeah. Antonio Brown's like a message from Mission Impossible. He will self-destruct at any point.
Why is he doing it? I just don't understand. Wouldn't he? He was signed up for $80 million, wasn't he?
It was
probably somewhere in that range. But
$80 million.
Crazy.
He
I
lost
got to
the
be
money.
honest with you. I don't care who the hell I am. $80 million through. I'll be
for
gone.
sure.
As soon as I collect
And
that
now he
last
won't even
dollar,
get the
you
signing
kiss my
bonus.
ass.
They're gonna. Yeah, whoever has Antonio in their off the field a-hole fantasy league is definitely going to win this year.
Do you have any Antonio Brown jokes?
You know the problem with Antonio's headphones. We keep seeing these pictures of him wearing these big headphones.
Right.
they don't cancel the noise inside your head. That's the problem.
I do wonder.
Don't bring that up in front of me, will you? The voice is in your head, baby.
Here's some quotes. Eli, why am I on the bench? Kaepernick, can I get a bench? Minshew, anyone mind if I have sex with this bench?
You're unbelievable.
Gardner Minshew, he's fun. Oh my goodness. There is no original Gardner Minshew. He's Gardner Minshew the second. It doesn't make his dad's name is Flint. This doesn't make any sense. Will someone please explain this to me?
Gardner Minshew the second, and there is no
sounds
first.
classier, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Are we sure Minshew isn't a Sacha Baron Cohen character?
That does sound like it. That's true.
Would you be surprised at all if he said, "My wife"? That would surprise me
Wow.
a tiny bit.
And now you made me think of that phenomenal bit, "Throw the Jew down the well." Oh my
Right.
God.
Oh,
That's the funny.
Oh, my
Have you ever
goodness.
seen that bit?
No.
Oh my
great.
God. It's a Sacha Baron Cohen when he pretends to be a cowboy singer.
Okay.
So he pretends like he's a country
Yeah.
western singer. And he goes, and people start singing along. They're all, "Throw the Jew down the well." They're all happy about it. It's like,
they
oh my
sing along. It's awesome.
They do. They sing along to the whole song.
So my country can be free. Oh,
That was a great bit, man. Oh. Anyway,
and
continue
the other
on.
maybe even better bit is when he's in, I think it's Alabama, and he's doing like a cage match thing, and they're fighting, and then they start tongue kissing.
Yes,
It's
unbelievable.
it hurts your stomach. It's so crazy
I think it's a
and
guy
hilarious.
Catherine's making a
Because
face
he
down
just
there.
grosses me out. I can't.
Sacha
look
Baron
at him.
Cohen.
Yeah,
I
he
could
just
see that.
grosses me out.
It's one of the few times that I gut laugh like a little kid. It's just those movies.
I do like
kill
that
me.
one character. What's the name of the hoodlummy character he plays?
Allie G.
Allie G. I love that character. You know Allie
Great.
G, don't you?
Yeah, booyakasha.
Great.
That's
Booyakasha.
what.
You don't know that?
Oh,
come on,
man, you
Tevin.
love
But
Allie
I've
G.
never.
Hey, I'm
say-
lost too, you guys.
Yeah,
I'm
You don't know either?
Two
No.
black people in the room.
Yeah, I'm
I have
just-
no
I'm just
idea
over
what
here
you're
He
talking about.
plays a black character named Allie G, and is he kind of a rapper, I guess.
He's a chav.
But the guy, honest to God, from his neck down to his feet is all gold chains.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
in an
Stereotypical,
Adidas
right?
jogging suit.
He's in his jogging suit with gold everywhere.
Oh, that's great.
Sorry about that, Kostaki.
Sidetracked.
Back to you.
No. Oh, I enjoyed it. It was fun for me.
Oh,
Kyle Allen came in for Cam Newton, had a great day. Well, he had a big hat to fill, so, he had to.
what is with that hat now?
I have.
Have you
He
seen the
does
hat?
it every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
It's different. It's
He wore like
different.
a
Every week.
babushka or something the
Well,
other day.
it's not as good as Tevin's hat that he wore at the Emmys last night.
No.
That was a hat,
impressive.
man.
What was your hat?
No,
Oh, show me your hat.
Let me see. Find the picture. And it's
You
not
got
my
it.
hat.
It is your hat. I saw you wearing it. I saw you in the parking lot take it off and put it in the trunk. You know the one I'm talking about, Kostaki?
No.
Oh, last night there was a guy who won the Emmy for Best He's the first openly gay man to ever win the Best Actor Emmy or
Really?
whatever. Yeah.
Shocking.
That is shocking.
I know. Well, I don't think it's true.
Yeah, I
first of all.
kinda doubt it.
I highly doubt that it's true.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's terrible.
So who are we talking about?
You didn't get it? Would it disappear on you? We're talking about, what's the actor's name? I don't remember.
Billy Porter.
Billy Porter?
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy Porter. Look at that hat, Andrew. It's kind of an overstated brim, if you ask me. But you'd look good in that hat, Tevin.
Oh.
I mean, I'd like to think so. I don't think I could pull it off. But
It looks like a
Probably not.
3D
Probably can't
model
walk.
that was rendered improperly.
Yes, I agree.
probably can't walk through many doorways with it on. But
Not that thing. It's going to be tough.
Wow.
Do you know Billy Porter? You know that story, Kostaki?
No.
Yeah, he's the first openly gay man, or first openly gay black man, I think it was, to win the Best Actor.
First openly gay black man to win lead actor in a drama category.
First
That's
one.
a whole lot of
What was the drama
modifiers.
That's a lot of-
category?
Yeah,
a lot of caveats there.
A lot of caveats.
Yeah, for real.
that's very specific.
The first 37-year-old Chinese person to.
You got to see the hat, though, Kostaki. Before you go, you got to look up the hat. Billy Porter at the Emmys.
Oh, I'll do it right now.
Oh, it's not overstated at all. I got to be honest with you. Did you see it?
I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at it
Oh,
now.
that's a lot of hat.
It's
Yeah, okay.
unbelievable.
That's a lot of hat.
Yeah,
man.
I'm not. No.
He goes, I'm
Like
not.
your style.
No.
It's like if it was symmetrical, it might not be so bad. But the fact that it's one side,
Wait, this
Have you
guy's
seen
gay?
it, Catherine?
I did say openly, so
He said openly. He's openly gay, so God bless him.
That is a
God
bold
bless
hat.
him.
All
That
right.
is one hell of a hat right there. I will tell you one thing. If you walk down Plymouth Avenue where I grew up wearing that hat, they go, we'll give you 2 minutes to leave.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
count.
That's
I'm going to start counting right now. And that's all there is to it. All right, sorry. Back to
Tom
this
Brady's
stuff.
idol as a kid was Joe Montana. Cam Newton's idol as a kid, Carmen Miranda? I'm just guessing.
Oh, the hats. I like the hat reference. That's another hat
Back
reference.
to the hat comedy.
Back to the hat comedy. Yes.
You know, I've never done this before, but I did a contest on Twitter. I said, well, Antonio Brown is home today watching football. So I was wondering if he had a fantasy team, and so I had people write in their suggestions for Antonio Brown's fantasy team name,
Oh, God.
which ended up being kind of fun. So I've got several of my favorites if you want to close on this. Antonio Brown's fantasy team name suggestions. Cold Feet, Brown and Out, Dude, Where's My Car, with 2 R's.
With 2 R's.
Brown versus Any Education.
I like that one a lot.
That's a good one, right?
That's a good one, brother.
Antony No,
And Tony, no, yeah.
AB Negative, the Comeback Kid,
I don't know about that.
2
Don't Come
Legit,
Back Kid?
3 Quits.
What was the last one?
2 Legit, 3 Quits.
2 quit, 3 quits, whatever. It all works.
Angry and Afraid. And here's my favorite. Cody Sanchez sent in, Frostbitten, Twice Released.
Once bitten, twice shy. Frostbitten, once released. How did he frostbite his feet again?
Went into the cryo
He didn't
chamber
wear the
with
protective gear.
socks
Yeah.
or shoes on or whatever.
Why would he do that?
That's, you could ask that
There's
about
a lot of
things.
questions to be asked.
See, there are a lot of questions to be answered. That's all I know.
Why would he do that? Applies to 10 things we've heard about the last 3 weeks.
Well, that's true. You're right about that. Why would you do that? Another great report, Kostaki, as usual.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Thank you, young man.
Go Vikings.
Bye.
And take the
Take the
Falcons with you. Absolutely. All right. He just hung up on me when I brought up the Falcons. He didn't like it. They must have gotten killed yesterday, huh?
No, I think it was 27-24.
It was
They
a close.
lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
They
a close
lost?
Yeah, they
game.
lost. Because they played the Lions. Right?
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
Lions are 3-0.
I was on the road.
What the hell? Lions are 3-0. Packers are 3-0.
But no,
Viking.
Lions are 2-0-1 because they tied the Cardinals.
Oh, they tied the Cardinals. That's right. 2-0-1. You're right. But they haven't lost a game yet. That's true. Giovan, great having you in studio again. So how do people reach out to you?
NothingbutHemp.net is a great way to find us. That is our
Wonderful.
website. Any one of our 4 Twin City locations, Forest Lake, Maplewood Mall, Grand Avenue, right next to Cafe Latte, and right uptown next to Iron Door Pub is our Uptown Lake and Lindale location. Either one of those. We did just open in Henderson, Nevada. It's a beautiful store. I think
Henderson's a nice town.
It's a very, very nice town. It's the first shopping center of the first sprawl out of Vegas in Henderson.
Right.
So it's a pretty good location. We're really pleased at the build out. We just like where we are.
I see you're going to have a West Palm Beach location coming soon.
Yeah, we got some things in the works. We're growing fast with our affiliate model. Our affiliate model allows people to invest and then take on the investment. We will handle the supply chain.
Franchise.
Not franchise, because franchise means I gotta go and do stuff. I got 5 stores that I need to worry about now. So
Yeah, that's right.
we went affiliate model. So we will train the mess out of you. We're a training company. We will train you how to do it our way. Then 75% approximately of your products need to be our products, and then you have 25% wiggle room. That's really what it comes down to.
That's actually pretty generous.
Well, it has to be a product that's not already offered, you know.
Right,
So because there are other products out there
Right.
that we're not going to get into, and we don't want to completely control everything, but we'll handle the 75% of products that we need you to handle. And if you think there's something else out there that you want and it meets the COAs and it has a good reputation and it comes from a reputable place and it has a lab that is reputable and we can back it, we will say go ahead and do it. But you know, we just don't want you to put anything on your shelf that you can find at a smoke shop or
Right,
you know, not to
right,
bash
right.
these places, but these people don't have the education
Yeah,
that they have. They can't go into depth about the product.
No.
So, you know, we want to be different.
I like it. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for
always a
having
pleasure.
us.
What
We
about the
appreciate it.
discount?
Oh yeah, anybody?
Oh, wait a minute.
Thank you.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like the discount.
yeah. If they mention your real name,
Not a hole.
not a-hole, but if you go ahead and mention Tom Barnard, you will get everybody 15% off for the rest of the month and the month of October. 15% off. Mention Tom Barnard, we got you covered.
All
5
right.
weeks worth.
5 weeks.
I like that. A little over 5 weeks.
Just for the month of October or till the month?
Oh, the end of October.
End of October,
Yep, so
from
September,
now-
October. Yep,
Okay.
yep. We will
Nice.
honor it the rest of this month and then through next month.
I like it. Thanks very much for coming.
Thank
in.
you. Appreciate
Tevin, I'm surprised you stayed the whole show today.
Yep, I know. I really dedicated myself to this show.
He didn't
today.
You are
storm out in a
dedicated.
No,
snit.
yeah, there was no racial slurs today, so I didn't have to leave.
Oh, racial slurs. Yes, because I do that quite often with people who are a lot bigger than me. It's really a smart idea.
Yeah, back up.
Yeah, back up
Might
too.
leave him
That's
here to
right.
fend for
You
himself.
got back up. Yeah, me behaving. There's a picture of me behaving right here. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow with the family.